Okay, everybody lie down, get comfortable, feel your shoulders connect to the mat. Let's stretch out your legs. Bring your arms to the sides of your body, palms open, just lay completely flat. Lay right down, all the way. And you keep your eyes closed gently, or maybe just gaze down the tip of your nose. And start to come into your breathing. Feel a full breath come into your body through your nose, feeling the flutter on the back of your throat. Pause. And then when you exhale, make that just as slow, right back out through your nose. And we begin with breath. Take another full inhale. And a long, slow exhale. And as we begin this morning's practice, with each breath, as you focus on the inhale and the exhale, just notice how it feels in your body as your lungs expand and lift your chest. And when you exhale, maybe your shoulders connect a little bit more firmly into your mat. Breathe right down your arm bones into your fingertips. You could even give them a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe make a fist and then release the fingers. Just notice the energy that you have in your hands. Take another full breath in as you fill up through the belly. Noticing how that lifts and rises with an inhale and then descends and flattens out with an exhale. Another big breath in. Let it just go right down your legs into your feet. Maybe move your feet from right to left. And that movement alone will take the leg bones right into the hip socket. And you may notice some tension or some tightness. It's all good. We're going to breathe in and out for the next hour. And you'll start to release tension in places you didn't even know you were holding it. Take another full breath in and a full breath out. And then nice and slow, start to bend your knees, bringing the soles of your feet flat on the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart. Wiggle your toes. Notice how your heels, the ball of your feet, are grounding down. And then with your next breath, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms right around your shins. Roll up like a little ball. You could even lift your head and shoulders off the mat. Rocking right to left, connecting through the low back. You just go as slowly or as quickly as you want, rocking. And then open up your arms, keeping your knees stacked right above your hips. Flex your feet. Back of the hands are right on the ground. We're going to let the knees go to the right, so we're twisting. So let the knees go to the right. You look over your left shoulder. Knees go down toward the ground. They may not reach, and that's fine. Yep. Open up your arms like you're in the letter T. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then using your breath, inhale, bring the knees back up through center, just like a pendulum, and then let them go the other way. Knees go to the left. You look over the right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then inhaling again, bring the knees back up. Hug them into your chest. And this time with your arms wrapped around your legs and you're rolling nice and tight in a little ball. Turn yourselves right around. We're going to come into tabletop. And I'm going to do some of these with you just so I can stretch out too. So hands stack underneath the wrists or the shoulders, and the knees are underneath the hips. Just exactly what it sounds like. You're in a tabletop position. Pull into the low belly. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And with a breath, inhaling, release the belly. Tip the tail up. Draw the shoulders back. Look up slightly. And then exhale. Tuck the tail. Round the spine. Let the head go right down in between the biceps. And then with each breath, with each inhale, you reverse it, coming back into cow. And then exhaling, completely rounding the spine, letting the head go. And think of it as using your breath as what creates the movement in the first place. Inhaling back to cow. Exhaling, rounding into cat. One more time. Full breath in, and then exhale, full breath out. Come back to tabletop. Nice flat back, pull in through the low belly, press down again to the tops of your feet. You could even lift your knees. Really connect to the tops of your feet, lifting up. Let your knees settle back in. And then with your next inhale, breathe deep, inhale, push the right heel out long behind you. Now don't lift it too high, you're just going to push it straight out. Hips stay parallel to the ground. With a breath in, raise your left hand forward. And just pay attention to this structure like it's brand new, you've never done it before. It's like you're shaking somebody's hand, so the palm is facing toward the right. Rotate the legs so the pinky toe is pointed down. That helps keep your hips nice and square. Take a full breath in and a full breath out, and you're just balancing on your right hand and your left knee. One more breath in, and then exhale, bring the hand and the knee back down, right under the shoulder and the hip. We'll rinse that off with a cow and a cat. So big breath in, release the belly, tip the tail up, open up across the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail around the spine, let the head come down between the biceps. Come back to your tabletop and pause. Pull into the low belly again. And now this time we'll go to the other side. So you're going to push through the left heel, like you're putting your footprint on the back wall. Pinky toe points down, so the entire leg is internally rotating. And then with a breath in, lift the right hand like you're shaking someone's hand. And again, you have this one long, beautiful line from your fingers to your shoulders, out your hips, through the back foot. So the foot's not lifted too high, everything's in line. Your foundation is key to keep you balanced and strong. Pull in through the low belly, and you're breathing. Full breath in and full breath out. And you're just pausing in this balancing pose, stretching out, full breath in, full breath out, and then bring the hand and the knee back down. Rinse it off with a cow and a cat. Inhaling, release the belly, open up across the heart, lift your head. And then exhale, tuck the tail around the spine. Really push down through the hands and the knees. Come back to your tabletop. Pull into the low belly. Beautiful. And then sit your hips back. We're just going to stretch a little bit through the sides. So you can either sit right on your heels. You could take a block and sit on a block if that's better for your knees. Or if you don't like this posture at all, you could just come into Sukhasana, which is just sitting cross-legged. So it's your call. Figure it out. What feels okay in your knees and your hips. Take a nice deep breath in. Sweep the arms up. Lift up. Feel your spine lengthen. Hands come back down. We're just moving and breathing. Inhale, sweep up. Big breath in. Follow the whole breath up. Maybe look up. Exhale, turn the hands down like you're pressing the air away. One more time. Big breath in. Sweep up. And then this time bring your hands to your heart on your exhale. Right down through center. Pause and breathe. Sit nice and tall. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Once again, lifting up, take the hands high, big breath in. Now we're going to twist. Take the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Left fingertips are behind you. You can place your hand on the small of the low back to encourage some length, or if your fingers are on the ground like a kickstand, just to help you stay tall. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Even if your head can turn and look over that left shoulder, that's great. Take a full inhale and a slow exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Lift the arms up. Sweep up. Exhale, twist the other way. Left hand across the right leg. Right hand behind you like a kickstand. Sit tall, lift up through the crown of the head. Beautiful. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. And a full inhale and a full exhale. Come back to the center, breathing in, inhaling with each movement. Exhale the hands back down. Okay, we're going to come into downward facing dog now. So if you had anything on your mat, get it out of the way. Hands at the top of your mat, spread your fingers nice and wide. Take your feet out long behind you. If you want to start in plank to make sure that you've got the correct distance between your hands and your feet, that's awesome. And then when you're ready, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Press your legs to the back of the room. Really lift up high through the hips. That's it. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, lift up to your toes. Let the breath pull you up. And on your exhale, let the heels lower. They won't touch. We're just bringing some movement into this upside down position so you get the feel of it. Inhale again up to your toes. Exhale, let the heels release. All right, let's work through some sun A's. Inhale up to your toes. Look forward. On your exhale, walk your feet up right in between your hands. You're coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, start to lift through the chest and the upper back for a halfway lift. And that's exactly what it is, right? So your hands can be pressed against your shins. You can have your hands along your sides. You're pulling into the low belly. You draw your shoulders back. You got a beautiful 90-degree curve right here at your hips. This is a halfway lift, just like what it sounds like, right? And then exhale, release, hinging at the hips, take your hands down. Now, if your hands don't make it, or if that feels really tight in your low back, you could grab a block to rest your hands on. You can also bend your knees. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And again, just let gravity do its thing. And then with your next inhale, we'll come into a halfway lift again. So you draw your heart forward, you pull into the low belly. Hips are going to the back of the room, and your arms can be by your sides, or again, you can press into your thighs, creating more length. And then exhale, release, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw your shoulders back, almost like you're squeezing a lemon in between your shoulder blades. Pull into the low belly. Exhale, release. Now, this time, rise to stand. Big breath in. Come on up. Reach up high. Bring your hands to your heart space and pause. All these movements are just exactly that. You're moving to take you from one place to the other, fueled by your inhales and your exhales. Okay? Now, check your feet. Make sure they're nice and straight. You want the outside edges to be parallel with the outside edges of your mat, right underneath your hip points. From Tadasana, take a full breath in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Soft bend behind your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Keep your hands down at the top of the mat. Walk your feet back out, far behind you so you're in plank. And then you decide if you want your knees up or down. From plank, we're going to lower. So bend your elbows to the backs of the room. Lower all the way to the mat, all the way down. And then untuck your feet, press down through the tops of your feet, and inhale. Just let your upper back pull you open for cobra. Use the breath. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. Big breath in as you push back up through your knees or full plank. Pause in your plank. And then shift your hips back nice and high, downward facing dog. That's it. It's a sun A. And all we're doing is practicing breathing as we move. As deep an inhale as you can take, as slow and long an exhale as you can make. All right, let's do another sun A. Inhale up to your toes. On your exhale, walk your feet forward, bring them right up in between your hands. Take as many steps as you need, or one big step. And then with your next inhale, you're going to lift halfway lift. Arms either pressed against your thighs or by your side. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Take your hands back down to the earth. You're just bending right back in half. Inhale, rise to stand, come all the way up, big and tall. Exhale your hands to your heart space and pause. And as you pause in Tadasana, it's really just for you to close your eyes, ground your feet. Take another breath in and another breath out. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. All the way down, hands to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands at the top of the mat. Walk your feet back out far behind you. Come back into that nice long plank. Take a full breath in. Bend your elbows. Lower down on your exhale. Slow and controlled. Press down through the tops of your feet. Inhale for cobra, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes. Push back through plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pause in your down dog. Maybe close your eyes. Come back into the anchoring of your breath. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Just pause. Coming back to down dog is basically coming back to the beginning. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. You get to reset, and then we'll move on to the next part. So with big breath, inhale, lift the right leg out long behind you. On an exhale, bring that knee forward, plant the foot right up by your thumb. So your hands are down, you get that foot up there, stay on the toes of your left foot. It's just a great big low lunge. Take the left knee down to the earth. You can stay on the left toes or go to the top of the foot. And then with a big breath in, sweep up, stacking the shoulders over the hips, hands go high. You can look up or you can look straight ahead. Pull in through the low belly and keep that right knee stacked right over the ankle. Your feet are in two separate lanes, so you've got some balance like train tracks, okay? Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Bring your hands to your heart space. Pause. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Bring your hands to your knee and just lean. Feel that stretch through the left hip. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And just pause. And then bringing your hands down to the earth. Tuck the left toes and lift that leg back up. Keep the left hand down. And we're going to twist open. Right hand goes up. Legs don't move. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Bring the right hand down and then bring the left foot forward so you're in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in for a halfway lift. Stretch out. Pull the hips to the back. Feel the crown of the head go forward. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, and now we're coming into chair. So with your arms extended up, bend your knees, sit your hips back, just like you were going to put your bottom on the edge of a couch. Take a look down. You can see your toes. Knees are bent, hips go back. And if your shoulders are not liking this morning, bring your hands to your heart space. Listen to your body. Now, this is the pose that everybody's like, oh, chair. I don't want to hold this pose. It's a lot of work. Yes, it is. So let your quads do the work. Pull into the low belly. Shoulders go back. And breathe deep. What holds you in poses? What holds you in anything that you do? Your breath. Sometimes you don't even know that you're breathing. The minute you hold your breath, you're cutting off that flow of what your body needs to keep yourself moving. Because there's a lot happening inside, even if we're holding a pose. Your brain can be racing. You can notice your quads are starting to burn. You can say, when is she going to get us out of this pose? You're fine. Take another deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then we're going to straighten the legs, forward fold. Let your head release. Keep a little bit of softness behind your knees. And just let go of the pose that you just held. And we begin again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Keep your hands down. Walk your feet back out to plank. Pause in your plank. Take a nice deep breath in. This is where the movement matches your breath. Bending the elbows, lower all the way down. Untuck your feet. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. And you know when you're in down dog, you can always pedal out your feet. You can bend both knees, taking your shins parallel to the mat, pressing your legs straight. The hips go nice and high. And then come back to your hands. Spread all 10 fingers nice and wide. Let the head release right in between the biceps. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. With your next breath, lift the left leg, press through the heel. Exhale, bring that foot forward. Use your hands if necessary to get it up by the foot. Take a nice deep breath in as you settle your feet into two separate lanes. Stay high on the right toes. And then take that right knee down. Following an inhale, breathe up, lift up. Shoulders stack over hips. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, reach a little higher, and then exhale, bring your hands to your heart space. Pause here, pull into the low belly, stay nice and tall, hips through the shoulders, and then pressing into the left knee, stretch out that right hip flexor. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath in, one more breath out. Bring the hands down to frame the foot. Tuck the right toes, come off the knee, keeping the right hand flat on the ground. Sweep the left arm open, twisting toward the left. And if you feel like you've dipped into that right leg too much. Breathe in, press back. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Hand comes down, bring the right foot forward to meet the left. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Sit your hips back for chair. Pause in your chair. Take a little bit of an inventory. The weight's in your heels. You can wiggle your toes. You should be able to see your toes, so pull the knees back, pull the low belly in, sit the hips a little bit lower. And then again, maybe your shoulders are not liking this, so bring your hands to your heart space. Press the right hand into the left. Feel the energy transfer from one arm to another, and then draw your shoulders back. Pressing your heart right into your thumbs. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And you know, if you want to intensify this, you can close your eyes, you can come up to your toes. There's lots of options. As long as you keep coming back into your breath. Full breath in, full breath out. This time we're going to inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, hands right by your sides, Tadasana. Let's come into, tree. I forgot the name of it. Isn't that great? So weight into the left foot. Keep your leg nice and strong. Bring this right knee up in front of you and flex the foot. Now, you feel this belly pull in, this core. A lot of core work here. We're going to take the sole of the foot and either put it on the shin, or if you want to reach down and lift it up, that's fine. You could even start with your toes on the ground, depending on how shaky you are this morning. Remember, this is just a brand new beginning. We're starting fresh. So you do what works for you so you don't fall over. And if you feel like, you see how my hip is shifting? Pull it back in. You want a nice, straight, strong hip stacked over ankle. Now lift your arms up. Big breath in for tree. Big breath out. And it makes no difference how many times your toe has to touch to keep you balanced. You're just breathing. You can gently gaze down the tip of your nose so you're not distracted by anything around you. And you just keep coming back into your breath. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Bring your hands back to your heart space. Take the knee out in front of you. Keep the foot flexed. That keeps all that energy, drawing everything into the center of you. One more breath in. One more breath out. Cross the ankle over the knee. Come back into that chair position. So you're bending that standing leg, taking your hips back. Heart comes forward. You feel that in your hip flexor. One more breath in. One more breath out. Keep the foot flexed to protect your knee. One more breath in. One more breath out. Remember, balancing is something that we practice. We're not born with it. Bring the feet down. Sweep the arms up. Big breath in. Exhale. Tadasana. And the beauty is you get two sides, so there's lots of places to practice. All right, take a nice deep breath in. Put the weight into your right leg. Inhaling, lift the knee up in front of you. Pause. Feel all 4 points of that right foot stay grounded. That's your rooting leg right through the mat, through the ground. Open up the knee, place the sole of the foot. And you know it goes either below or above the knee, not on the knee joint. That's bad. So below or above. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay tall. Breathe in. Lifting the arms up. Grow your tree. Stay focused on your inhales. Stay focused on your exhales. Now, if your balance is super, super shaky this morning, and you have a wall nearby, you can hold on. There's no right or wrong for this stuff. You can still pull in while holding on to something to keep your balance, because all you're really doing is practicing breathing. So take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then when you're ready, hands back to your heart. Bring that left knee out in front of you, pausing again, maintaining balance, crossing the ankle over the right knee, and then bending the right leg to sit your hips back, stretching out the left hip. And your bodies will only take you as far as it'll take you. So it's not a contest where, oh, I got to get really low. You don't have to get really low. You go until you feel it. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Straighten the leg, let the feet meet. Sweep the arms up, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at the hips, forward fold. All the way down, hands go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now take your feet as wide as you can. Take them right off the mat. And then let your hands find opposite elbows. Let go of the head. Take a nice swing right to left. This is ragdoll. You're just letting go so you can begin again. Okay? Start to slow the sway. Let your hands come back to the earth. Toe heel your feet back in underneath your hip points. And then inhaling again, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, bring yourself down to a seat, whether you're seated again on your feet or not. If that's too tight on your knees, you can always come into Sukhasana, which is basically crisscross applesauce, right? Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And whenever you're seated, if you feel like you're really hunched over leaning, sit on something, a block, a pillow. Lift your hips up. Let your knees be lower than your hip points, and it'll help you pull in so you can get a nice straight spine, lifting right up to the crown of your head. You should notice a difference right away. Okay? And this is better for your knees too if there's any impingement. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just settle back into your breath. So you know what's coming. Restorative poses are next. So I hope that first 25 minutes was enough to get your heart rate up just a smidge. Maybe you noticed the breath a little bit better, being able to inhale and exhale more deeply. Now we're going to settle in and bring some restorative to the body and to the mind. So the first pose we're going to do is a 2-blanket back bend. So you can use bath towels. And what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 blankets. All right. Open, I had mine rolled, so open up the blanket, fold it in half. So you want your blanket in Tadasana, and we're going to lay that down right on the mat. And then you're going to take your other blanket, same thing, folding it into Tadasana, and we're going to lay that on top of the blanket we just put down. Okay? Now, hips go on the edge of the blanket, so you're sitting on the blanket. And when you go to lay down, I want your shoulder blades to come off the blankets. So, I don't know if you can see me, but I'm going to wiggle back just a little bit so my tips of my shoulder blades are on the mat. I'm going to open up my arms, palms up, or you can bend your elbows and leave the backs of your hands. And then your knees can stay bent, or you can take them out long. And this may not feel like much, but it is opening up across your chest, lifting the rib cage. Okay, so take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. Tip your chin down just a little so the flat part of the back of your head is more on the mat. Yeah, perfect. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And we're going to stay here for about 6 minutes. I'll ring the bells when it's time to come out. You just keep focusing on your breath. Paying attention to the openness, hopefully, that you're starting to feel. Take another full breath in and a full breath out. Start to deepen your breath. Bring a little movement into your fingers, your toes. And then using your feet, push yourself back off the blankets. Not lifting up. Push yourself back so your back stays on the ground. That's it. And then when you're flat on the ground, bring your knees in and roll to the right. Pause for a moment. Use your hands. Push yourself up to a seat. Notice how your back is. Notice how your chest is. Hopefully a little bit more open. Take a nice big breath in. Sweep the arms up. And then bring your hands right back into your heart space. And then we'll get set up for the next pose, okay? So if you have a bolster, and I'm going to presume for the rest of this class is that you have yoga props. So you're going to take your bolster and you're going to lean it up against the couch because I think that's just as easy. So we're going to come into a reclined Supta Baddha Konasana. So it's going to be restorative but also a hip opener. So we're going to do So set your mat up. So the edge is against the couch and then angle your bolster. Okay, so then you're going to sit your hips up right to the edge of the bolster. Wiggle right in. And then you're going to take the soles of your feet and bring them together. Hopefully you have your blankets handy. You're going to roll up your blankets. You're going to put one under one knee. And we're going to roll up the other blanket and put that under your other knee. Use this one. And then if you have a third blanket, which I think I told you 3 to begin with, let's open that one all the way up. So it's basically just folded in half. So we're going to make a long noodle. So I'm going to roll the fringe part in. And you're going to just make this really long, skinny noodle type blanket. Now, this is going to go over the tops of your feet. So your feet are together. It's going to go over the tops of your ankle. You're going to push it underneath your thighs just for some extra cushioning. And it's grounding. Yes, perfect. Okay, so the knees are open, but there's no work involved. You sit back, and then if your head makes it to the bolster, that's where it should be. And if it doesn't, prop it up with some pillows. Okay? Hands can rest in your lap. Take a nice deep breath in. And a deep breath out. If you have something to cover your eyes, great. And if not, that's okay too. We'll save that for Shavasana. All right, and we're going to be here for another 5 minutes or so. Again, I'll ring the bells when it's time to come out. Keep bringing yourself back into your breath. Get as comfortable as you can and start to let go. One more full inhale, really fill up. And a slow exhale. Take a full breath in and a slow breath out. And then taking your hands to the outsides of your knees, close them up like a book, and allow yourself to roll to the right side. Just roll right off your props, right onto the ground. Just pause there for a moment. And then using your hands, you can push yourself back up to a seat. And we'll set up for Shavasana. So Shavasana is deep rest. And when we put it into a restorative place, it's magic. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we do what we can do, and we can always begin again. So take your bolster. We're going to do Stonehenge. Take your bolster. You're going to set it up on top of 2 blocks the tall way. So you can turn right around. Knees like this. And when you get your bolster on top of your blocks, or let's say you don't have any blocks and bolsters, you can just bend your knees right over the edge of the couch. You're going to lay flat down, and I'm going to put a little bit of a pillow under my head so it's shifted, my chin shifts down, so you get a little head pillow for this one. This one here. Okay. And this is the one where you want to get cozy and comfortable, so take a nice deep breath in, let your hands come down by your sides, tip your chin down just a little bit, that's it. Actually, if you have glasses on, you might want to take those off too and get your eye pillow, because this is where you get to really let go and relax. And a little bit of extra darkness and a little bit of extra stillness is always good. Arms down by your sides. Just let go. Take a full breath in and a slow breath out. You don't have to do any more work. Let your breathing return to normal. Let your body reconnect to the mat. And when it's time to come out of Shavasana, again, I will ring the bells. One more breath in. And on your exhale, let go, Shavasana. Slowly bring some movement back into your fingers. Maybe roll your head from right to left. Be gentle with yourself as you come out of your Shavasana. Then you can draw your knees in, pressing your low back to the floor. Roll to the right and just linger on your side for a breath or two. Taking another full breath in and a full breath out. You could use your hands to push yourself back up to a seat. The beauty of yoga, whether it's restorative or any other kind, is that, you show up, you begin again, you come with what you've got, you do what you can, and you breathe. Take a full breath in, lift your arms up, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands right to your heart space and pause. Lift your heart closer to your head, lower your head closer to your heart. The light and truth in me sees that in each of you. Thank you for being with me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day. And remember, you can always begin again. Together we say, Namaste.